What's up, guys? Dimebot here, and Odyssey has been in alpha for a week now, and I thought that I would give some of my thoughts about the alpha, how it's progressing so far, and a little bit about what I'd like to see in the future. So, let's go ahead and get the big one out of the way: the taxi system. In its current implementation, it is nothing short of awful, forcing us to sit for upwards of 10 to 12 minutes with absolutely no gameplay to engage in is awful. For those that don't know, the alpha takes place in a trinary star system where one of the stars is 150,000 light seconds away from the other two. And you can't see the distances to your missions when you're selecting them. Now, Frontier has said that they're going to address that. In my opinion, it should have been fixed already. It's already in the main game. It needs to be fixed ASAP because it's very disrespectful of the player time. And once you're en route, there's no way to cancel a trip, which I also think is something that could be added. But that long chunk of air quotes gameplay time with no actual gameplay to speak of aside of looking back and forth at the various side panel menus and turning the NPC ship's night vision on and off just because you're bored, it's not okay. Now, I understand they're not going to budge on making it be real time, but they've got to give us something else to do. I don't know what that looks like. I'm not going to try to armchair develop it, but it's not a good system, and they need to do something to spruce it up a little bit. Now, yes, it won't be so bad when we're in smaller systems, can see the travel times to missions, yada, yada, yada. But it's still not going to be great unless they implement something else for us to do. I anticipate, and this has been discussed to death in my Discord server's Elite Dangerous channel, that none of us are ever going to use the taxi again unless Frontier finds some way to force us to for certain mission types. And honestly, I just won't play those mission types. That's how much I dislike the taxi system. Moving on, let's talk about the performance. It's god-awful. This thing I know is not optimized yet, but when we have people playing with 2080 Ti's and 3090s and not being able to attain a stable 30 FPS on the planet, let alone 60, I hate to be memey, but feels bad, man. The performance is, it's not good. Now, I understand that it's not optimized, like I said, and they're probably going to work that out, but right now it's kind of hard to play sometimes. That being said, the planets do look good. The settlements do look good. They've clearly improved their procedural generation. I like the look of the on-foot stuff. The lack of head bob is weird, and it takes a little bit to get used to. I wouldn't mind seeing an option to add head bob. It feels slightly unnatural at first, but you get used to it. The motion of your character running around feels good, especially on low-grav planets where you can jump super high and then use your little booster on your suit to get even more height. That feels great. It feels like I'm in outer space. I can Super Mario my way around on the top of the settlements, killing the guards. And actually, let's segue right there. So, the AI is worthless. It's really dumb. I've had it stand out in the open and stare at me and not shoot me while I've been unloading into it before. This is something that needs to be addressed. They said that they had improved it from what they showed us in their initial mission walkthrough, and if this is their improvement, dear God. Maybe they get better as you run into higher rank NPCs, but they're literally just dummy bullet sponges right now. They take way too much ammo to drop, and yes, I know there's the kinetic versus energy, so kinetic is weak against shields, yada, 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 but even with a laser rifle, it takes multiple clips to bring somebody down. And I don't know, the guns just don't feel that great to me, and they definitely don't look that good. They look like over-engineered Nerf guns. The sound effects for them they lack punch. Yes, I know we're in space, but, audio thing is something that's kind of, there is an in-lore explanation for it in Elite, of course, but it's kind of been something that the game is known for, is great audio design, and man, the guns don't have it. Like, I know we shouldn't even be able to hear anything in space, but we do in the Elite universe, and I don't feel like they've gotten it very right with this one, despite making much about going and recording gun sounds. I don't know if they lost those audio files or what, but I'm not a fan. And yes, it sounds like I'm ragging on this a lot, and I am aware that it's an alpha, but they charge us money to get into it, so they open themselves up to criticism as far as I'm concerned. I've always maintained that on any type of game, and Elite, no different. So the gunplay could use some work. I think they can probably improve it. The core is there. They just have to fine-tune it. So let's talk about the missions. So I actually rather enjoy the missions. They're not tutorialized, so it's very obtuse, but that's just Elite Dangerous. It's always been that way. I don't expect them to change it. However, it is kind of neat to have to figure out that, hey, if I want to get into this building that's powered down, I need to cut this panel and then use another tool to overload the door, all while having to juggle my suit energy, which can run out, my oxygen, which can run out, and bring along the appropriate consumables to deal with that. Scavenging for materials to trade with the bartender for upgrades to your guns is kind of cool. But just in general, the missions are... they're typical Elite. They're samey and repetitive, but I still find them interesting. Assassination missions are probably going to be super fun, but having to go in and power up a base and put out the fires, or go in and sneak around and clone people's profiles to get into higher security areas without being caught, and steal whatever you're after and then getting out without raising the alarm and calling Apex Taxi, and that's all fun. It feels pretty good to play. There are some issues with like NPCs just randomly seeing you through walls, or I've been sucked through a wall several times while looking at a access panel to figure out where I need to go, but there's some cleverly implemented things there, like the ability to find the container that you're looking for in the list of the facility buildings and mark it on your HUD and go straight to it and have the key code for it. That being said, I've also beat my head against the wall for upwards of half an hour to 45 minutes trying to figure out how to do certain missions. So there's, the typical Elite dick to me there. They've designed some pretty fun gameplay loops, but how far are they going to elaborate on that? And that's what I don't know, and what worries me a little bit. But we'll see. The foundation so far is solid. So before I move on to talking about what I hope to see, let me repeat, it sounds like I'm ragging on them a lot. And there are some definite problems. But there's good stuff in here too. So we just have to see where they go. Now, what do I want to see out of them coming up? Well, first off, give me my shit back. I'm sick of the taxi. I can't overstate that enough. Give me my shit back, or a ship at this rate. I also like to see them tweak the prices of stuff across the board. The suit that you can buy right now in Alpha costs more than, 3 Sidewinders? Which, a suit versus an entire starship? That makes no sense. I don't know what the in-lore explanation for that is, but I don't care because it doesn't make sense. Same with the guns. We got guns that cost more than literal lasers for starships. I don't know where that's coming from, but it just doesn't make sense, and it bothers the heck out of me. I really am ready to see the actual combat suit and some actual combined arms gameplay, which is where Frontier Solutions comes in when they unlock that. I want to see what it looks like when we have ships, commanders on foot, and SRVs all in the same space, because my mind still can't wrap my mind around what in the world an on-foot commander is supposed to do against something like an Anaconda or a Federal Corvette that decides to ruin their day. So I need to see what that looks like. And I also am very curious about the one thing they haven't talked a ton about, which is exobiology. That's the thing I'm most excited about. I want to get to that. I really want them to fix the taxi thing. I really want them to optimize the game. And I wouldn't mind a little more diversity in the way the starport interiors look. Humanity doesn't build things the same all over the world. We're certainly not going to build things exactly the same all over the galaxy. So maybe give us a little more diversity. I know some of them are a little different right now, but they're basically all the same. Just give us a little something more. I don't think they will, considering we only have the 4 main types of starports that we've always had, but here's the hoping. all in all, I am cautiously optimistic for the future of Elite Dangerous Odyssey. That being said, there's a lot that I take issue with, and I hope that they can fix it all in the time frame that they've given themselves, because they said they would extend the alpha as needed, but they've also said they want to launch in May, and that's not a lot of time to fix some of the fundamental issues that people are complaining about with this alpha. I don't know. We'll see. I just wanted to put some thoughts down. You guys let me know what you think about the alpha in the comments below. Let me know what else you'd like me to go over from the alpha as far as gameplay tips or tutorials. Hit the subscribe button, guys. It helps me out a lot, and I know most of you aren't doing it because I can see my own analytics, so shame on you. Press the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, give it a thumbs up. My name has been Dimebot, and I will see you guys next time.